For all the people who judge without knowing, just throw the peace on, tell them good vibes only, yeah. They were hating, but we didn't even notice.
Hi guys, and welcome to Wake Up World.
Enlightenment Now.
My name is Eric Tavares.
And I am Duchess Carol.
And today we are talking about Starseeds, Indigos, Crystal Children,
Rainbow Children,
Lightworkers.
Yes.
Yes.
Earth Angels.
Earth
even?
Angels, yeah. So I'm definitely resonating more with Starseed now that I've been awake for a year and a half.
Yeah. People consider me as Earth Angel. It's actually, that's a bigger, it's kind of an overall term for people that like to do good and connect to the angelic or fairy type realm, which fairies are just nature angels. They are actual little angels.
That work on plants.
Yeah.
I was just researching
yeah,
that.
they can be a little mischievous. They have in my house, they've knocked things over, and I've actually seen one. I wouldn't have believed it had I not seen it. They knew that, and I'm like, woo, you don't look like a Disney character, let me tell you.
Definitely not what I was seeing on...
Yeah.
Don't get me started on Disney. That's going to be another podcast, obviously.
Yeah.
From what this says and what we've known as Starseeds are known as people from star people or star children. It goes all the way back into Native American. I know, huh? We've been affecting energy nonstop. It keeps going up and down.
Yeah, so if it happens to get dark and light, we're just putting on a light show, I guess.
Right?
Our energy is just crazy.
It's crazy.
I know.
It's a little much. It's a lot.
Yeah.
But going back into Starseeds, star people or light beings, because I've been researching a lot about Native American, the Hopi Indians, the Hopi prophecies. They talk about these beings of light, which are Starseeds who were here at one point and then they left or ascended and now we come back. And so me being more on my path, I've learned that I'm a Starseed. I'm from another galactic galaxy or another place in the universe.
Yeah.
That I chose this time to come down. And then, like, I signed my blueprint to wake up at a certain time, and everything will start making sense. And everything
so all
is
the
starting.
ones that are here to help awaken, I mean, we're all light workers. So that's kind of the dome of what everyone's under as light workers that are wanting to be awakened and awaken others.
And it says something about, like, because people are like, well, what's a light worker? I'm like, well, the light inside your sacred heart flame has been illuminated. You're able to shine that light.
And people see it. People that aren't awake can see it. They
like,
know
you're
there's
glowing.
something to you.
What's up with you?
And they're attracted to you. They're like magnetically want to be near you and
know
more about you.
I have this lady at the gym who tells me, when I tell her what's going on, like, keep shining your bright light. And I'm just like, you don't even know what I'm talking about, but thank you. So I do. I always try to do.
Yeah.
This was also talking about first waivers, so Starseeds that are first waivers, second waivers, third waivers. From what I understand, first waivers came back in like the 60s and 50s area. And then they do all their part, their light working and stuff. And then another generation. And it's all generational. So every generation wakes up that's coming in or incarnating now is more than likely 90%, maybe 85% a Starseed, a light worker, an earth being. And then what we were talking about earlier is we're learning that a lot of these people that are still on this planet actually are humans that are stuck in the human karmic cycle of death and rebirth, but they're not ascending. Or what I've also learned, probably Friday or Thursday when I was reading it, says that we incarnate as the human and your goal is to pass certain tests or learn certain spiritual cosmic law. And that maybe there were 7 that you chose to do that life frame and you only mastered 2.
Yeah.
Then you do have to come back. But also I'm learning that they've manipulated it to where even if you've passed, they've got you hook, line, and bait and they're coming back in. And so now we're back to be like, no.
Yeah.
It's like this. Like it's
because programming is so, I mean, it just takes
so
over
outdated.
Everything.
It's so last year.
And then you'll find a lot of people, if you could look at their timeline of them coming back again and again, they come back and they'll commit suicide. And then they'll be born and they're like, well, why is my little kid so depressed all the time? Well, they came from a lifetime where they had just killed themselves. They never figured it out then. They have to come back and they have to deal with this until they figure it out. And it's really hard.
Figure it out, people.
It's really hard because you don't remember, you know? And I've seen this so many times, like thousands upon thousands of times happen because I haven't been here as a human. I was on the other side watching all these things happen and I willingly came here. What was I thinking, really?
Yes.
But I willingly came here thinking I would, make this different.
It's funny that you say that because there's times where I'm like, I want to go home.
Starseeds, they come to help make sure that the souls on the planet survive, and they also come to awaken. And whereas more with the Earth Angel side of things rather than Starseeds, is the Earth Angels are more of, help them out, help them. We also are here to awaken, but we're here to awaken them in a totally different way. It's so interesting to see the differences, because at first I was like, well, okay, we're here all for good, but we all do things in such a different way. And so and it's really what you identify as, because we're all not from Earth. Earth is such a baby planet. you know? It's like poof, thousands of years ago.
Poof. And it's so far away from our cosmic being. It's like, from what I understand, we're like on the outskirts of the outskirts. I'm like, and we really think that our galaxy is like this wonderful galaxy. I'm like, you do understand, like, we are like on the outskirts of something, and that's why every 2,500
years, it's
like
we're in the timeout
we barely
area.
come into the boop. Oh, now you're in my presence, and then it's like, put them on again. I'm like, you do understand that we're over here like thousands of years are going by, and all kinds of shit's happening, and it's time for y'all to intervene a little bit more. And so now we're all waking up, and I'm like, cool, let's do this. It's like we're in Hunger Games. And
I have never watched that. I need to watch that.
So you really, what? You gotta watch the Hunger Games. I love it.
I don't know what's going on with their camera, so.
I know. Indigo children. Possibly, it says that we're not just from one star system, where we can have more than one of the characteristics. And so we both resonate with Indigo.
Yes. In fact, there's, we'll put the post on there of, this is something my daughter had written, because she just loves to research and write. So, anyway, but yeah, there was like, how many was there? 38 points that she had found for Indigo that she had just written down I think it was off the top of her head and researching. And I hit 36 out of 38, because I am not an old soul. I mean, even though in the grand scheme of things, I'm an old soul. But here, people that know me know I kind of come off as innocent, and it's not even playing dumb. I really just don't know. I haven't been here a million times. This isn't my 100th time on Earth. It's like my first time. And last time. And last time.
She hopes.
My last time, I'm telling you. Don't make me come back there right now.
It says that we like to, that's the crazy thing, is it says that we love to come back. And I'm like, what?
No.
And then we get here and we're like, why would I want to come here? And then we leave here and we're like, that was fun. That's almost like as if it was a roller coaster ride at Six Flags.
Yeah.
And we're like, I don't want to go on that. And then we go on it. We absolutely
hate
I
feel
it.
Like I'm dying.
You hate it, and you get to the end, you're like, I want to go again. I'm like, what?
No,
I'm ready to go to another planet.
This amusement park isn't fun anymore.
Oh my, I'm over this amusement park.
But
we can't leave until it's set back on track. So
the other one I didn't get is it's between, not always, but between 1975 and 1995 is when the Indigos were brought in. Of course, there's some overlapping. There's some, I've never been really patient, so I came 2 years ahead of time.
No.
So
I'm ready to go right now.
I'm like, I'll be the leader, let's go.
Indigos are known for being very, very creative, and then one to be very rebellious, so, and not to fit in with the normal society norm, or following rules at school, following rules of parents, and that I can identify with, because I did follow the rules by my parents, because my mom was very, very strict. But then at school, I was always like, if I was not getting straight A's, I was getting in trouble. So then I learned how to like manipulate. This is really crazy. Rebellious, and learn how to manipulate the system by like, hey, do my homework. Got straight A's. I'm not even kidding. I had girls doing my homework for me, and I would get my straight A's, and the whole other time I was off doing other shit that I wasn't supposed to be doing. And then, why are you in detention? And then all kinds of weird stuff. Like, I still look back and I'm like, there's no way I would have passed Spanish 4 years in a row had I not had April to do, not only to do my homework, but to do all my tests, like in the middle of the class, like teacher was looking like, switch. Thank you.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
We were so, that's how I rolled. And then.
Wow, not me. Oh, I was just afraid. I would always get whipped for bad grades. So I was like terrified to get in trouble at school.
Really?
So my dad, he put the fear of God in me, because, that's what they used God for. So
parents had me very locked chain. I didn't get to go to high school parties. I didn't get to do any of that. And then once I graduated, I went to college. I joined a frat. I got a drug addiction, alcohol addiction, all kinds of stuff.
Parents are really good when they're really strict. They're really good at they're teaching their children how to sneak around and do things. So when you're really strict as a parent, guess what? You're making really smart, sneaky kids.
Right.
And that is absolutely the truth. I lived it. And because of that, me and my children, we've always had a really open communication, as you know.
Yes, they do.
And so, like, they'll tell me anything. They'll be like, hey, Mom, this is happening. And I'm like, no other parent in the world probably hears their kid ask them about this stuff. But, hey, I'll tell you the truth, you know.
Like,
so they don't have to sneak with me. They can just be honest and get an honest answer. So, yeah, for me, from the time I was little, I was always so rebellious. And even if I didn't act out on it, in my mind, I was always like, if someone said, only go left, I would be like, I am going right just because you wanted me to go left.
Yeah, like,
I mean, I just naturally am rebellious. So
that's
yeah.
where I'm at, like, still now, currently, now, even waking up into my abilities, and you see how everything is programmed, you can only believe in this. And I'm at this point like,
Yeah,
nope.
exactly.
You tell me to believe in this, I'm totally going to go believe in the complete opposite.
And
so I
that's-
started
and
at the dark and have made my way back.
It's really good because it teaches us, when we are awakening and things like that, it teaches us to ask the question, why? Why? Why should we believe that? Show me why. And whenever
Not show
that's
me why
kind of-
you believe that, but show me why
like,
everyone
why should
believe.
I believe that? Why are you trying to tell me that this is something I should believe? And whenever you start questioning that, you start questioning it for yourself. Why do I believe what I believe? And that helps you awaken. So
Yep.
being rebellious actually can be a really, really good thing.
It says that Indigo children also have a lot of psychic and spiritual gifts as children, and that I can resonate with because as a child, I watched my great-grandmother die in front of me. She choked on a grape, and then I was in the corner playing with her still, and her body was over here.
Yes.
And then I can remember laying on the couch and looking into my brother's room in the house and seeing people walk back and forth in the hallway. It's really strange. And then
Yeah,
all that
there's
went away.
so much we
And
don't
now all of
see.
it's back. My mom was
Yeah.
like, you could do this as a child. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
It's like I was blacked out for a good 20 years. And
Well, no, it's the parents that, and it's not even just parents because it's like your teachers, things like that, you know. Okay, sit still. You're not seeing what you think you're seeing because I don't see it. You must not see it either. So they kind of put a damper on things. They put their thumb
Right, it
and
shuts
like
your-
try to
it shuts your
no.
third eye.
Yeah, they try to shut it down. And whenever you're like, well, the teacher said or the parent said that it's not there, I must be imagining it. Then it just shuts everything.
it's all
down.
in your imagination. Oh, how many times do we say that to
Yeah.
others? Yep.
Yeah. Exactly.
And we both resonate with this, ADD and ADHD.
What?
What?
What were we just talking
I don't
about?
know. What's
I
going
don't
on?
even
Oh,
know.
something shiny.
Oh, shiny, sparkly too.
I like to say ADDHD. And my doctor would be like, what? I'm like, no, I have ADDHD. And he's like, no. I'm like, it's ADD and it's in high definition.
Yeah, exactly.
It's ADD.
I'm like a disco
HD.
ball ADD.
Right? I mean, it's crazy. You see how much we go off of, like, you should have seen us before we
We are
started
like
this.
tangent
We're
queens. We go off on tangents.
We do.
You should see the stuff we have to edit out of this thing.
We can make podcasts on just that stuff.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Let's see. We want to move on to Crystal Children?
Sure, crystal children, that's the generation after us a lot of people can identify with.
Right.
That's actually my daughter is a crystal child.
She's a crystal.
yeah.
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 Because she knows a lot about crystals.
Yeah, what is weird is when I was pregnant with her, I named her Amber Tiara, which is a crown of jewels.
Oh, how funny.
My dad actually bought her stones and stuff when she was growing up, and she kind of was like, yeah, these are okay. She kind of got into it, but we were Christians, so it was like, okay, you like rocks, now you don't like rocks. But when she awoke, she knows everything about crystals. Like and she's not a know-it-all either. She's so introverted. She can just hold a crystal and tell you what it needs. And she knows so much about like how they're feeling, what they need, what they, what they are, who they are.
I want to go home and give my
So it's like,
crystals
wow.
some TLC and be like, I'm sorry that I've kept you in this bag for 4 days, but
Yeah, exactly.
I like to carry you everywhere I go. So I just want to let you know
For me,
that I
I'm
love
like,
you.
they're crystals, and I charge them, and but she has like an emotional
It says
connection
that-
to each one, even if she doesn't.
Does she
they're not
start
hers.
talking late in childhood, or does she
No,
talk?
she actually talked very early. I'm talking 7 months old. By 8, 9, 10 months old, she was speaking sentences, which is highly unusual for children. Like, knew her alphabet at 1. I mean, just like, she was just
I didn't-
definitely something different.
I remember doing my timeline growing up with my mom, and I had to do it for a school project, and I didn't speak until 19 months. Was it all a year and a
Boys,
half?
a lot of times, will speak later. And I think it's just because they're busier. Girls they'll be able to sit and watch a movie. Well, back when I was growing up, like sit and watch a movie, whereas a little boy's like, I want to play. It's just the, like,
different
genetics of how that, the science behind the cells or something. I don't know. But, you know, and for me, then as I grew up, I was more of a tomboy, so I was more busy. Whereas, like,
me, I was completely
boys
reverse.
I
I was
knew
playing
would
house
sit.
and I was playing mom
well, see, my
in
well, I'm not even gonna
kindergarten
say
in
that.
front of other kids and
I'm not
boys.
gonna talk about my son.
Like, what do you want to go do? And I'm like, I want to go play house. Like,
Yeah.
I love playing house. Now I don't like playing house. I'm like, I don't want to clean. I don't want to do dishes. So I feel like my nose is just like, oh, it's driving me crazy. Anywho, what were the crystal children? They are very generous. They don't react to fear. They're normally born between 1980 and 2010. Most prefer vegetarian meals or juices rather than regular.
Yeah,
the typical,
and a lot of people can cross
or
over and be a lot of one
traditional.
thing and a lot of the other, but they might just identify with more indigo or more crystal or more rainbow. Like, it's just kind of where you.
I think it all.
I think
it all merges at some point
Yes,
because
it
like
does.
Starseed becomes the Lightworker and Lightworker becomes the Indigo. Like they all.
I think they were just trying to generationally categorize things.
Well, now
so
they
that
have
they
like
can be like, okay,
millennials
this
and
category-
extennials and Generation
Yeah.
X, and I'm like, who's got time? Who spends time labeling this all day? Like we're just all one. I ain't got time for this. I'm everything. I'm boy, girl, gay, straight, bi.
Yeah, I think
I'm all
it's
of
just
it.
whenever you do have a category like that, if you meet another that identifies with being an indigo or a crystal or rainbow, they're like, it gives you somebody in your little circle that you can be like, yes, I feel like that too, and you kind of have kind of the same little
Right.
group of people.
I definitely resonate with needs to be alone to recharge frequently.
Absolutely.
And I didn't used to be like that prior to the awakening, but now Saturdays and Sunday, like yesterday, majority of the day, it was probably like almost 9 o'clock at night when I grabbed my phone and realized that it was on Do Not Disturb
Yeah, I do
all
that.
day.
I
And
do
I
that a
was like,
lot.
my phone has been on Do Not Disturb since last night. This one does not want to be contacted. I do not want a phone call. I don't want to be texted. I just need to rest.
Yeah.
And yesterday
Yeah.
was a lot of rest and,
If I
and
go
a
in
lot
public,
of meditations.
I have to like recharge after that. People love being around me and they're very drawn to me, and I'm really good with public. I'm great in crowds and things like that, but I have to recharge after that. It's like salt bath, meditation. Nobody talk to me because I just need to be alone with myself.
Saging, smudging.
Uh-huh.
That's how it was like yesterday. I was just like, oh, I was not having it. It just took me so long to get into the vibe. And then once I got into the vibe, the universe wanted to play that trick on me. And I was like, great. I was like, now I'm going to be even more stressed out the rest of the night. Took me forever. Hey, I did learn how to put a fire together by hand, by scratch. So I'm good.
Wow.
We're going to move on to the next one, which is rainbow children.
Rainbow.
And
Rainbows are good.
We know I'm one about for the rainbow, honey.
I love rainbows.
Yes, rainbow
Aw.
is unity.
Yes.
But it says these people are being born around 2000 and I was graduating around this time.
Yeah, it's not a solid line for these things because you can definitely have a lot of the ones of different categories.
Rainbow children are normally born around 2000. Very loving and forgiving, often telepathic, very in tune with the spiritual world. Which we talked about starseeds, rainbows, indigos.
Yeah, and we didn't touch on every point, but we will put it in the comment
Description.
area.
For all the people who judge without knowing, just throw the peace sign, tell them good vibes only, yeah. They were hating, but we didn't even notice, cause we're on them good vibes only, yeah. The shit gets wavy, like we're in the ocean, cause we're on them good vibes only, yeah. For all the people who judge but don't know me, I just throw the peace sign, tell them good vibes.